Alrighty, welcome to my stream for the day. We're back with photo editing. I did want to show something that I missed showing last week with the weaving photos. So we're going to hop into Photoshop first. So the thing I had to show with the weaving is that, as you can see here, we have the horizontal and we have the vertical parts of the weaving. And we can check to see if they are level in terms of with the frame of the photo. And for this one, it appears fairly level. So this one didn't need it. But I do have some here at the end that definitely needed some adjustment. This one's off just a little bit. You can definitely see it in the vertical. So what I do is I use this crop tool and then I click on straighten, and you can create a line based on your object, and it will slightly shift the image to reflect that, that line. This is great if you're doing any horizon shots, like with the ocean. The theme for the next issue of Tiny Studio is ocean, and there were several shots where compositionally they were just a little bit off with the horizon, and so being able to adjust that definitely helps the image. So this one's drastically off. So we'll take this, we'll go to straighten, and this is the line. And so the image is getting rotated to make sure that we've got that straight line. And then it's also going to crop it. That's the check. So we can look at the before and the after, and you'd lose a little bit of the image, but it definitely is much better. So we'll go ahead and save those two, and then close out of these so we can go back to capture one. Alright, so the first group of images I wanted to edit are a group of spindle shots. I got this brand new spindle from Jerry. And I usually like to take a picture of the spindle with any information that comes with it. It's just like a reference. This photo's not that great though. Let's look at the next one. This one's a lot clearer. I'm okay with the text not being crystal clear. That's fine. Mainly just need to kind of get an idea of what it says and see the spindle. Oops. I like this one the best. I'm going to turn on the exposure warning to see if there's any black, which there's not. And I'll adjust the photo just a little bit. So I've actually already gone through these photos to adjust for the custom style for the Einstein 5600K, which adjusts the color temperature. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, we're starting off with your spindles. I'm going to up the exposure for this just a little bit. Increase the shadow. his little toes, they're so tiny. I see, did darken the shadows just a little bit. Now I this was in my first recording. I redid the shot so I could include the frog. So I've got a few images, 8, and we'll see which ones I like better. It's kind of hard to see in this way. You can use the loop tool and look at the image up close. So everything's in focus. So I definitely like this one better than this one, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that one. Just play before and after here. This one or this one. I like this one better. Now this one what did I do? Oh, I changed my focal length just a little bit, and it's a little too bright. I don't like that one. Hi, sunny side up. Yeah, it's nice when the background can just kind of fade away. Kind of like this one. Let's see if we can fix it though. We're going to drop the highlight just a little bit. No. Let's try lowering the exposure first. So Brian and Jerry, what are you two up to? It's definitely too dark. I really needed more light on this side, which is a shame, but so I don't want to burn out. I'm having some contrast issues, so this area is really dark, but this is really bright, and I don't want to brighten the whole image up because I could overexpose the frog. And that's definitely don't want that. He's not bad. Okay, so I'm happy with that one. Now I did I like how this one has a lot more room around it. This one would be good for a print because you don't have to worry about anything important falling off the edges. Ooh, so Sunny Side Up just started a new spin on his Turk, and Jerry is picking woods for a special project. So we need to lower the highlight. And I don't mind if I lose a little of the black in this, so we're gonna Lower the shadow. Make it a little more dynamic. This angle's bad. You can tell the difference from this one to that one. This one's not bad. I might play with that one later, but I've got a lot to go through, so I won't do everything. When I do wheel shots like this from the side, I'll have to take it into Photoshop and do the straightening to make sure that this is level. When you look at it with the grid, you can see that it's just slightly skewed. I love the detail in this. It's 100%. A little bit of the layer underneath peeking through. I did do some full bobbin shots that were kind of neat. I need to do some macro shots of this. Believe it or not, this is not a macro. Well, maybe this was taken with the macro. It says 100. Let's see. Does it tell me which lens took it? Sorry. No, this was with the macro. But I could get closer. Should be pretty cool. Hi, Kaida. So this is Polworth silk up close. I'm looking forward to taking some photos of just silk up close to see how it looks different from wool. Alright, so we've got a few that I will pick from here. We go to the next folder. And I already edited I just got a message from Fossil Fibers. She says, "Oh my god, the detail in your green yarn photo." Yeah. So I already actually posted this one. Here's the before. He's got a lot of dark over here that I lightened up. And then this is another one I did earlier. And then some of you have probably already seen this one. I posted this one on Instagram a few days ago. I really like the detail in this one a lot. I need to order some 13 by 19 paper to print some of these. I like the little bits of the blade underneath peeking through, especially the orange. Where, right here? Is this the lump you're talking about, sunny side up? Because that lump is like the end of where I'm spinning. Yeah, that's the layer. So right here is right where I'm spinning. So it is a lump, but it's not a lump. Let's see. See? You can see it here. There you go, Brian. But to be fair, I mean, you guys are way overcritical of these bobbins. Like, I know you think they're nice and even, but they still have their little tiny hills and valleys. Let's see, where's that side shot? Yeah, I won't go looking for it. Alright, so I was trying to figure out how to do a shot with the loom where I didn't have the background cluttering it, because behind this is some cubbies, all my wheels. It's a little distracting. I think you guys set the bar too high for me. So I was trying to figure out how to get this, all black. And I set up some backdrop stands, and I've got this black fabric, aka a tablecloth. And I couldn't get the edges all the way. So I was playing with that a little bit, trying to figure out how to get this all black. And as you can see, these photos just weren't the greatest. However, I did get to a point where I was happy with it. This is getting better. What I was doing is I was tilting the light towards me, and so the light's actually beginning at the front of the loom. So it's like right to the side of the loom, so that there's not as much light actually going behind the loom. So it's going to help with this background. Right here. So right here, the light is just at the very front of the loom, and it's actually, there's no light getting to the back. So this background looks way better. I can actually blend this up a little bit in Photoshop too to make it look a bit more like it's a gradient. It definitely looks a lot better over here. So this one's definitely straighter than that one. I do like this one. Oops. So I'll play with that one and this one. Oops. Alright, so let's edit this. We're going to look at the exposure warning, and it's going to tell me that a lot of this is black, and that's totally fine. But what I do want to fix is that it's a little dark at the front. So we're going to up the exposure. To get the detail back in the front of the loom. And then we will drop the shadow to keep the black. Now, what I haven't gone through and added the style to these yet, so let's do that real quick. Okay. All right. Alright, so let's look at the before and after. So this is before, it's a bit dark, and after it's definitely a lot brighter. So this was the very end of the project. I've got my hem stitch in the back right here. And I actually, in order to get this photo, I pulled the warp backwards a little bit so that more of the weaving was displaying. When you do your hem stitch, you actually want it more towards up here, so it's easier to work with. I'll do the same thing to this one. And this one. Actually, see, I've got 29 and 51, so we're going to do the same. So let's copy it. I can actually apply it to both of these. That's really awesome. So I definitely will work with this here. I'm not sure what I'll do for that yet. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it if I have hardwood floors instead of the teal carpet. It kind of looks a little weird with the teal, but it still looks decent. I wanted to do some close-up shots with the measuring tape and the scissors. So out of these 3, they're all fairly close. Take this one. To up the exposure. Metal is always going to have some overexposed parts. That's for the lights flashing back. Can try to knock it down just a little bit though. That is a lot brighter. Let's brighten this one up just a little bit more. There, that looks better. Alright, so I did some last macro shots of it on the loom. We've already seen how it looks, but I did get some macro shots of the piece off the loom. I thought we could see how it looks. So we've got this versus, let's do this one. This one versus off the loom. And I really couldn't see a huge difference between the two. Jay said that the one on the right was a bit more relaxed looking. I don't know. It's really hard to see. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it's going to look once it's fulled. It will definitely look different then. So the fibers will be a lot closer together. But it's still fairly similar. If there's anything you guys want to see up close, just let me know. I did want to experiment with shots of the yarn going through the heddles. So I played around with this a little bit. Thanks, Brian. So I was trying to figure out where exactly I wanted the sharpness, because when you take we take a shot like this through where you've got a series of objects going away from the view, whatever you focus on will be in focus, and then things will start to fall out of focus. It's like, I like this shot. This is nice. So this heddle right here is the focusing point, and then everything after it is falling out. Didn't care for the vertical shots. Okay, this one's pretty cool. So this one, oh, that would be pretty cool. Good idea. So you can see in this one that I've got, it's out of focus, out of focus. You get your sharpness right in here. And then as you get closer to the camera, it falls out of focus. So my focus is going to be on this heddle right here. This is the plane that's in focus. And depending on your aperture, my aperture was f11. That means I've got this chunk right here that's going to be in focus, and everything after it and before it will fall out of focus. If I did like f2, you might just have like just this right here will be in focus, just one line, just one sliver. And if you do like f22, you'll have a much wider range in focus. I really like that one a lot. I definitely like, yeah. This is pretty cool too. I'll probably take the crop tool and level this out as well. And this is a different angle, so I've got a bit more focus with this kind of a shot. But yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. So after that point, I went ahead and cut it off, and this is the finished piece off the loom. Fold it up so I could get the whole thing in a picture. I'll probably have to drape it across like a fence or something to get the whole thing in a photo. So that's 100%. And then I wanted to get some shots that were just the weaving, just all taking the whole entire frame. And shots like this, you know, you can either go off totally, you know, at an angle, or you can go straight. And if you do keep it nice and straight, you'll need to adjust you'll need to tilt it just a little bit to make it so that everything's nice and straight. So this one I would take it to Photoshop, and I would use the crop tool to align it a little bit better. This shot, I didn't get it all the way cropped. I got this little corner here, so I wouldn't keep that one, but I do like this one. Up the exposure. Actually, copy, apply. These would make for nice backgrounds. Now for shots like this where I have it at like an angle, I'm going to have to go in and fix this. And so I did that intentionally so I could show you how I fix that. So we'll take a few of these in, and I'll show what I would do to make them better in Photoshop. Of course, where's my export window? There it is. So go ahead and export these 6. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do auto contrast all of these. Unfortunately, you can't see that menu, so you'll just have to take my word for it. And then next we'll look at the adjusting to straighten the images out. So I'm going to take it, and I want this to be my straight edge. So that's my straight edge, and it's just going to rotate it just ever so slightly. So if we go before that, you'll see, actually let me put a line down. hadn't done it. Oops. So let's put this guide here and let's straighten it. Oh, it's going to attach to the guide. Oops. Sorry. I'm hoping to show you the guide so you can see the difference, but it's not going to do the thing. Come on. It's a very small adjustment for that one. This one I think a little bit more severe, so let's get a little closer. And here to, oh, forgot to click the straighten button. Here to here, be my straight edge. And that one's more severe, so I've lost a little bit. So that's the difference there. We'll do the same thing here. This tool was different, or the method to do this was different in my prior Photoshop, so I'm still kind of getting used to this particular tool. We will align to this, which is very subtle. So let's tackle this one first as far as how you would fix this corner. So I find the easiest way to fix these little spots here. Oh, thanks, Fossil Fiber. You really should get an account so you can actually talk in the chat. Alright, so to fix this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stamp tool. And I'm going to take what's over here and introduce it over here. And this isn't going to be perfect on the first go. We're just going to color it in. And actually, I'm going to change my mind. First, I'm going to clean this up because there's a serious case of dust over here. So first I'll smite the dust. That's good enough. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. Okay, so I've filled in the corner, but as you can see, there's lines. So the next part is going to take the patch tool and we're going to patch it. So I'll take this over to this darker area, and this will fix it. It's still going to take a little bit to totally clean it up. But that's the gist of how I would fix that. Jerry's probably shouting over there, "Get that one, and that one, and that one." I didn't do a spectacular job at making sure the background was clean for this one. So that's with the corner. That's how I would fix it. I'm not going to fix the whole entire thing because that's still going to take me a bit longer, but we wanted to look at these ones to see if they... Okay. You can kind of see right here where I've got this... Oops. Got a little bit of that black right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add another layer, and I'm going to figure out how I want to smooth it out. I could possibly take the patch tool. Let's see what the patch tool does with this. If I try to go to the black, oh, that's nice. So by patching, it fades that fairly nicely. But it didn't. I don't like what I did there. So what I can do is I can go to use the history brush and oops. So the history brush lets you return a particular little spot to a previous time. So if we go back. Brian, you're shouting too? Yeah. So, you know, we've got this line here, and I used the patch tool, and it's softer. So I think that would do quite nicely. I'm not going to worry about in here. That's fine. And you really can't tell over here. It's pretty nice gradient. So that's how I would fix that little bit over here. I actually like that quite a lot. It's really nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I would do the same thing for over here on this one as well. This one is definitely a lot more. So it would take a little bit more to do to blend that out. Same thing for here. fix this one up a little bit more. This one's just not dark enough. So play with levels. So I can lower the darkness and then you increase the brights. It's better. So once I finish this project, I still have the fringe to twist, which is going to take a lifetime. I hope the weather is decent enough that I can drape this across my fence to get a nice shot of the whole thing. Oh, and when you're cleaning dust like this, it's really helpful to make sure that your monitor is clean, because I just tried to clean dust that wasn't actually there. Like, darn, this dust is persistent. Why isn't it going away? Oh, it's on my monitor. Whoopsies. So with the heal tool, there's content aware, create texture, and proximity match. Sometimes the content aware does weird things and doesn't want to work. If it does that, you can switch to proximity match, which I feel does a good job. But you can also try making your heal area smaller to give it less work to do, and sometimes that can make it be more cooperative. In an ideal world, you wouldn't have to do all this little bitty dust cleanup, but black is magnetic. I mean, some of the stuff that I'm editing out is so small that you wouldn't see it in my social media photos, but if I want to eventually print something, it would be nice if it was all nice and clean. Let's try the patch tool. That's better. go. It's much better. And I think it's decently straight as well, so I don't have to worry about that. So you can see this is how it looked like before. We had this bad corner because I don't have enough space to actually get this whole thing in. I have a little bit of dust and smudges and stuff. And that's after. It's a lot better, a lot more polished. Let's try fixing this one. Alright, so this will be the last one I'm going to fix for tonight. So I'm just going to use the patch tool to... Oh, I don't like how it's making that fuzzy. So because I've got more detail in this area than the other one, it's making it soft. So I need to figure out a different way to fix that. So what I'm going to try this time is to do a new layer and paint over it. And I'm going to just do a little bit here. And if you... Okay. If you want a hard edge, I'm just going to zoom in, sorry, here. I'm going to click here, press shift, and it'll make a line. Okay, so that's my hard edge there. So we'll see if this works. So I've got this painted off here, and then we're going to use the eraser tool to fade it. So we're going to do 0 hardness and make it nice and big. Okay, so that did work. However, I think I'm going to take it down a little bit farther. So we're gonna paint a bit more before I actually do the eraser part. So I think this will work. I just got to do a little bit more work. So there's our edge. I'd also have to do this area as well. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I'm just going to create a line from here to here, just for reference. I've not actually done this before with any other photos, so this is just a whole new learning experience. So we'll see what happens. I need to erase this line. And now we will take the hardness down to 0. And okay, so this is at 200%. So this is even more than you'd actually normally see. That looks decent. So I could definitely see that as a way to fix it. I think what I'll end up doing though is, so I've got, you know, it's pretty dark over here. So what I might do is I take this black that I'm painting in and take it all the way down to here and then fade it so that I'm fading up to this point. And I think that will really balance it out. So that will take a lot more time, but I think that method would work. And that will just make the image look a lot better. So let's look at the before. So that's our little whoopsie there. And after. It's definitely a lot better, but I do want to balance it out. But that's pretty cool that it did exactly what I was hoping for. Alright, well that's all I got for tonight. I am planning to have some more spindle photos, and of course, yeah, I still have like a lot of these photos I'm going to have to edit, so I'll edit these later so that we have some new stuff to work with next time. I hope you all had a great time watching, and if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see me editing, like what kind of photos, like what subjects or anything, just let me know. Have a great night. I'm going to send you all to Snoring Cat Fiber Arts. Everybody take care, and talk to you later.